Hello ratbags, it's Jade, welcome to a Valheim video. Today I'm going to be going over the basics of raiding, or events as I like to call them. There are a couple things you need to know, so I'm going to go through that, and then I'm going to talk about what kind of raids there are and the chances of you getting them, what triggers them. Also need your help at defining some of this information a little bit more too. There's a little bit of conflict going on in regards to how some of these are triggered, so let me know in the comment section. So don't forget to like, make sure you subscribe for the best survival games, news, info and guides. Let's talk about raiding in Valheim. Just a little FYI, I mean the raiding from the creatures attacking your base, not PvP raiding, yeah? You get me? Just in case, some numbnuts might get a bit confused. Anyhow, if you want to stop these trolls from doing you in, or mostly just destroying your house, well, actually, just get out of your damn base. That's the number one thing you probably need to know about raids and events. They can appear randomly, we're going to go through that stuff, but most of the time, if you actually come out of your base and just run around a little bit, you can get the timer down to a couple minutes, which is normally how long it takes for these trolls to get bored, and then they will kind of more or less piss off. If you keep killing them, more will respawn. Out of all of the enemies that can come and attack your base in these events, the trolls are the most dangerous and more likely to do huge damage to your base. But they're not going to be hitting you on day one. There's certain criteria for these guys to spawn, so let's cover that. Before you take on the first boss, Elkir, you will get a random event that can be called the story events. And these story events occur basically encouraging you to maybe go and find that boss. Until you kill Elkir, you'll get boars and you'll get the sort of neck creatures coming and attacking you. You can trigger this yourself. I'm going to leave a list of the commands if you want to test some stuff out. Maybe you just want to check out some new weapons and armor you've crafted, see what they're like. Or yeah, you're trying to discover some mechanics around these events or raids. But these boars are fairly simple and easy, and it'll probably be one of the first that you encounter. Some people have been telling me that it only happens after day 9. You'll continue to get these types of raids, but you can also get others if you haven't defeated Elkir. Once you've defeated Elkir, that's it. You should not really get any more boars or the necks attacking you. This event or raid will last around a minute and a half, and then when they're going, it's going to say the creatures are calming down. The next one that you got to worry about is the elders, pretty much the grey dwarfs, brutes and shamans attacking you. But it does look like you get more chance of facing against some of these guys once you've defeated Elkir, but you still haven't defeated the elder boss. It is effectively the game saying to you, go and explore, find where this boss is. You need to take him out because his minions are going to keep coming for you. This one lasts a bit longer, 2 minutes in total. The brutes can be pretty nasty if they do spawn, and the shamans ain't no joke either, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you know how to handle some of the greylings by now. So the third story-based raid or event is the Bowmass one, the first one, and it's Draugrs and Skeletons. So effectively, this may have a chance to spawn if you haven't defeated Bowmass. Now this one lasts 2 minutes 30 seconds. It's one of the longest in the game, and I would say it's pretty challenging. The Draugrs are pretty tough, especially if you're quite low leveled or you haven't got a lot of good gear, and so yeah, it can be a bit of a challenge. A foul smell from the swamp will come up on your screen, and then when it disappears, it will be the smell is gone. Now actually, you want these raids to happen. It can be a good way to build up some certain resources, particularly the sausages from the Draugrs, which you'll get, or the entrails I should say, so you can make sausages. And later ones, trolls, yes, they are a pain in the butt, but it's going to leave you a ton of troll hide for you to go and craft some armor and stuff. So here's the kicker. As I said, if you're inside your base, the enemies will kind of stay outside for a few seconds. Then they'll get bored as if you are kind of hiding, they can't see you, and they will start attacking any crafting benches. And that's what they generally go for around your base. They will maybe try and aim for any building pieces too, but it's usually the crafting benches they'll go for first. So you can't really hide in your base whenever there's an event. That's why it's important you just run out there and take care of them, but doesn't mean you have to run out there and lose all your gear or lose lots of experience trying to face them. You could simply just try and run away and lead them away from your base. It's important to note as well that if you die, sometimes the mobs will then look for your constructions, so you basically have to respawn as quickly as possible. That's why you've seen some funny clips of trolls carrying on destroying other people's bases because they have died and not respawned straight away. But generally, once the time is finished for the raid, you'll see some of the creatures literally just running off, going off into the distance. Now supposedly, according to the wiki, it says these events actually don't overlap, so you won't suddenly get a Draugr and Skeleton one if you haven't defeated the Elder God yet. It's all in sync. Defeat the Elder God, then the next random story event that you get should maybe be the Draugr and the skeletons, although there are some more which I'm going to cover. So that's the idea. You hope you won't get drakes like these ones until you've defeated Bone Mass. And so this one is the Army of Moda. It lasts for, again, 2 minutes 30 seconds. It'll come the cold wind blows from the mountains, and then when it's finishing, the cold wind is gone, and it's just drakes. Now it does look like you also get the freezing damage no matter how or if you're getting hit by these guys. So you may want to make sure you've got a little almost arena. Like the minute this pops up, you could have a little courtyard with loads of fires going, and then just stay in there to keep warm, or just make sure that that one damage it's doing isn't taking away too much life. It's effectively the same as exploring some of the mountains. If you go inside, the drakes will kind of get a little bit bored and just go around looking for creatures. They seem to be distracted a lot more. Maybe it's because they fly around a lot more as well, but they'll go after any other creatures quite more rapidly. Again, a great way to get resources if you need them. Taking out drakes with a bow shouldn't be too much of a problem. I am using cheats, guys. It's a showcase. I'm just talking about the mechanics and stuff. Deal with it. Some people are getting really stroppy because I've been using cheats to showcase and preview bits and bobs, but you know, I've not labelled these videos any way, shape or form legit. And then the final one that shouldn't be triggered until you have actually defeated Moda and you still haven't defeated Yagaloth is the Goblin Army. It's going to have Fuelings, the Fueling Berserkers and the Shamans. I ain't gonna lie, this one's tough. Like if these guys spawn, yeah, it would be nice to have some thick walls or trench between you and them. But as a whole, you maybe don't need to invest so much into base defense. Instead, what you want to kind of invest in is maybe a smaller area that you could make a kind of defensible point. If you understand what I mean, like if you've got a big base, huge buildings everywhere, you don't have to build a huge wall going all the way around it or have to build a huge trench. Instead, build yourself a smaller, a little mini arena. And effectively, you'll go into that arena, build some sort of para parts around it, get some chests filled with bows and arrows around it as well, so the creatures can't follow you, and build a little sort of pit and kind of lead them in there so that they hopefully will basically stay away from anything else and you don't have to build huge ones. I'm going to do this in a video probably. I think I'm going to showcase this, test this a bit more and see if we can come up with an easier way than having to build huge massive fortifications around your base. I know some people like the look of it, it does fit in with kind of stuff, but some people maybe don't want to go through that hassle. There are some cheats that you can use to get rid of these as well. I have done a couple videos now showing the cheats, but just quickly press F5, type I'm a cheater, that unlocks the cheats. You can type help to see what cheats are available, but instead go to debug mode, type that only, and then you can just simply press the K on the keyboard and it'll kill all enemies within range. Again, especially for people that just want to build, want to chill, they don't have to deal with these raids. I have seen some reports on Reddit and others that people are getting raided quite a stupid amount of times, and it's even putting some people off playing on servers. Now, if you're on an online server, it is going to be obviously harder to cheat, but I'm sure by now some of you guys might have worked out how to add admins, so you can maybe take that as an option. Speaking of online servers, raiding and the events is actually tied to players and progress as well. So if someone on the server has gone around and killed all the bosses, you've got more chance of coming across harder creatures. So that's why you might be seeing goblins in meadows. Shouldn't trigger events for you specifically, and that's why I'm going to cover the next lot is how are these events actually triggered, what kind of base parts are needed for these events to trigger. What a beautiful day in the old swamps. Basically, you need a workbench, a fire and a bed. Now, there is some sort of discussion that some people have said they've had a base being raided by creatures, even though they didn't have these. That's because there is a second set of events or raids. I'm going to cover them in a second. But for story-based events and raids, you shouldn't have any of the ones that I just spoke about happen unless you have got a workbench, a fire and a bed all in one. You can still be raided if you only have a bed and a fire, or you only have a workbench. So some people have reported they've got little outposts, they didn't put a bed down and they're still getting raided. You're getting raided by the second set of events, not the first story-based ones. Also, just to show you that you can have raids happen in the swamp zone, regardless whether or not you're, it's a biome that you really want to build in. It does happen if you've got a base there, events can happen. Although there are some biomes it looks like it doesn't happen. I tried this in the snow biome And apart from a random Drake that decided to come in for a cup of tea, I tried triggering the random event a bunch of times and it just wouldn't happen. They weren't coming. Maybe it's different if part of your radius of your base is falling on like a meadows, maybe you're built on the bottom of a mountain. Let me know, but from what I can tell it looks like the random events won't happen. So effectively, when you're building an outpost, you can still have raids happen, but you won't have them story ones happen, only if you have built a fully fledged bed, fire and crafting bench. And you do need to be near some of these as well. If you're just exploring with your friends, you haven't built any kind of bases, there shouldn't be any kind of events happening near you. So we've gone through the story ones. The goblin one lasts for 2 minutes as well, just a little FYI, and it won't stop until you killed Yagaloth. So it's kind of incentivizing you to go and take on these bosses. But there are more raids. The next lot we're going to talk about is the enemy based ones. Now these are meant to be happening if you've killed a certain amount of creatures. These can also supposedly happen even if you haven't defeated certain bosses. Although it does look like bone mass is the trigger point for a lot of them. Effectively, once you've killed bone mass, the game thinks that you're ready to deal with much more difficult situations. At the moment there are 5 types of these enemy based events. You've got the skeletons, blobs, forest trolls, wolves and surtlings. Now you can see the skeleton ones that I've got right now. They also have rancid remains skeletons as well, which are just like a bit more of an elite version. This one will last 2 minutes and it's no joke when you've got a bunch of these dudes turning up at your door. They can be pretty ferocious. There's 2 that I haven't actually got to work myself yet, which is wolves and blobs. The blobs are also going to come along with oozers as well, so pretty tough. And again you have to defeat bone mass. Then you've got the forest trolls, which are probably the most deadly, and this has definitely happened I think to some people a lot, and it's made them cry a little bit because they've destroyed their base. The trigger conditions, it says you have to defeat the elder and killed at least 1 troll, and this will last for 1 minute and 20 seconds. Now as you can see, as long as you're running around at your base, they're not really doing any damage to you. As I said earlier, I don't think you need to worry as much until you get to that point where you have defeated the Elder God and possibly you have killed a troll. The chance of these spawning, I don't think is big. I know some people are going to say, oh, it spawned multiple times for me. Maybe it does. But maybe also if it's been destroying your base, maybe you should design something, like I said, a small area next door to it where you can trap them inside. Or just keep running away. Just go away from your base till it runs out. And eventually you either outrun them or they disappear. Now I need to investigate this further, but this seems like a viable method to take on quite a few bosses in building up the ground, because the ground doesn't take any damage. You can't destroy the ground pieces. So when a big enemy hits it, whether it's a Thulian Berserker or maybe one of the bigger ones like Yagaloth, I've got gameplay showing that yeah, they can't really get through this. So building up defences like this could be equally just as good as building huge trenches all around your base. Sure, it costs a little bit more stone, or in fact quite a lot more stone, but I don't know, it could be something interesting to come up with to try and trap any of these creatures that come and attack you. Obviously in this instance the trolls, because they're quite big. If you do really want all the hides, then just get super adept at killing them and more waves will respawn. In fact, even using the cheat command here to kill them in one go, I still had like 4 waves of these guys appear. Then as I said, we've got the wolves, which apparently last 2 minutes, which I haven't actually got any gameplay, but I'm pretty sure it has happened to me before. It will say you are being hunted or the hunt is now over when it's finished, and it's just purely wolves that are going to come and attack you. And then we've got the Surtling Cores, and the Surtling Core monsters, you find obviously these in the swamp, they're going to just deliver you more Surtling Cores. So it's a good thing that these will come attack you. I'll bet they have got the fire damage. Again, they are not as interested in taking you on if you do go inside. Just like all the other creatures though, they will start doing damage. And it does look like their damage is quite significant. I'd put it on par with the goblins and maybe the trolls as being the ones you've got to worry about the most if for any reason you can't leave your base. So these enemy waves seem to spawn on you, really you. Doesn't matter what requirements you have with your base, doesn't matter if you have got an actual fire or a crafting bench or a bed. But as I said, once you are inside a building, they will then focus on any crafting benches nearby and try and destroy it. So this is what I need help with. I have tried my best to research and look up exactly what the stats are in terms of killing enemies and what they will kind of do. But it does look like it's a combination with days that you've played as well as how many kills you've got. According to the wiki, you've got to defeat bone mass and killed at least 1 Surtling. So it seems like bone mass is the trigger point for these enemy raids particularly. other than the walls, which I haven't got any information on. This certainly one does last 2 minutes as well, but yeah, I need confirmation. I've got to find some way that we can track how many kills you've got of certain creatures. I know you get the trophies. I was wondering if maybe it's related to the trophies. Like if you get a trophy for killing the certain core ones, that's when you start getting the raids. So you normally get a chance to get one by killing lots of the creatures. And maybe like the Drake, if you haven't had a Drake one attack, have you actually got a Drake trophy? So test that kind of stuff out for me. If you do finally pick up a trophy for the first time at one of these mobs, then see if you do get one of these raids afterwards. Also important to note, you will not get 2 of these types of raids at the same time. You're either going to get the story one based on where you are, i.e. what bosses you completed, or you're going to get one of these ones based on when you complete or defeat a bone mass. And do remember that point, that the story events or raids, they're the ones that I think do require you to have a base proper, like a bed, a fireplace and the crafting table. But the enemy waves don't require that, hence why you sometimes get them when you're out near just an outpost or something along them lines. But generally not if you're just exploring and going across the land. It does look like it does need some sort of something, whether it's one crafting bench or one piece of wall or one bed nearby, before it will trigger one of these. But yeah, a little bit of help from you guys, much appreciated. So there we go, that is events explained as is right now. I'm sure more are going to be added. I'm sure it's going to change a lot during early access. I do think it's one of the things that needs to change, have some tweaks, adjustments and buffs or debuffs to it. But yeah, don't pay too much worry about putting huge defenses up, not until you kill bone mass. And don't worry too much about the trolls if you've got the brains to build something where you can lure them into. And that's what I'm going to work on in my next video for this. So I will see you ratbags very soon. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, leave a like, go and check out the rest of the Valheim content and stay up to date with the latest news. And I'll see you ratbags later.